99% of men don't do this. Women love it. Sounds extreme, maybe even unbelievable. But let me ask you this. How many times have you seen a guy who seems to have good looks, financial success, even confidence, yet he still struggles to form deep, meaningful connections with women? It's because attraction is rarely about the obvious things. It's not about your money. It's not about your car. And it's definitely not about cheesy pic. The truth is, most men completely overlook small but powerful gestures that women secretly crave. These are not your usual dating tips, recycled 1,000 times on the internet. These are subtle psychological triggers rooted in both modern science and ancient, Stoic wisdom that can transform how women perceive you, making you unforgettable without even trying. Imagine this. What if you could tap into the subconscious desires most women don't even realize they have? What if you could stand out from 99% of men, not by chasing or proving yourself, but by understanding what truly makes a woman feel seen, desired, and emotionally safe? Here's the harsh truth. If you didn't know these secrets, you're at a massive disadvantage. You could be doing everything right on the surface, good conversations, nice dates, thoughtful texts, and yet still be missing the hidden elements that actually lock attraction in place. That's why I need you to stick with me until the end of this video, because the final secret I'll reveal is the most powerful of all. Once you understand it, you'll never look at attraction the same way again. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor. If you're serious about mastering these game-changing techniques, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the deep, life-changing insights I share here on Dark Psychology. Now, let's get started. Secret 1. The power of touch before intimacy. Picture this. You're on a date. The conversation flows. She laughs. Everything seems to be going well, but still, you feel something's off. She's engaged, but not fully connected. You drop her off, send a follow-up text, and then silence. No response. What happened? Here's the mistake most men. They rely only on words. They think a smooth conversation, witty jokes, or intellectual debates are enough to build attraction. But for women, connection is never just verbal. It's emotional and physical. And one of the most underrated ways to create that bond is through touch. Now, I'm not talking about pushy, aggressive psyche that backfires instantly. I'm talking about a subtle, intentional, deeply meaningful gesture. Something most men never even think about. A gentle massage before intimacy. Sounds simple, right? But here's why it's for women. Emotional connection is often just as important, if not more, than physical attraction. A well-placed non-sexual touch communicates more than words ever could. It says, I see you. I care about you. I want you to feel safe and comfortable with me. This isn't about being a professional masseuse or impressing her. It's about presence. Being in the moment, making her feel relaxed, understood, and desired. The key here is intention. If you're going through the motions mindlessly, it won't work. But if you're engaged, actually paying attention, she responds, she'll feel it instantly. From a Stoic perspective, Marcus Aurelius once said, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. This applies don't make it weird. Just be present. Let your actions, not your words, communicate strength, care, and calm leadership. Here's the reality. Most men never understand this concept. That's why they're a main part of the 99% who struggle with emotional intimacy. But the men who do understand it, they create connections women never forget. In a world where most guys rely on instant gratification and surface-level interaction, this kind of thoughtful approach is rare, and is always attractive. Because when you master this, you step into the 1%, the men who truly understand what women desire on a deeper level. Secret number 2. Flirt with confidence without chasing. Most men misunderstand flirting. They either overdo it, coming across as pushy and desperate, or they hold back too much, afraid of making a mistake. The truth is, women love flirting, but only when it's done with confidence, subtlety, and respect. A man who knows how to flirt effortlessly stands out because he creates an energy that feels exciting without pressure. Flirting isn't about impressing her with forced jokes or exaggerated compliments. It's about keeping things playful, light, and engaging like a dance. You lead, she follows, but neither of you should feel forced into the movement. A simple example. If she says she loves a certain type of food, you smile, Anzie. Really? That's the best you've got. Clearly, you've never had my cooking. It's a subtle challenge that keeps the conversation interesting, while creating a sense of playful competition. Crucial reminder, good flirting is not about seeking approval. The moment you try too hard to impress, you lose your edge. Women are naturally drawn to men who are comfortable in their own skin, who can joke around without needing validation. This is where Stoic philosophy comes in. A high-value man doesn't flirt to win a woman over. He flirts because he enjoys the interaction itself. He remains emotionally grounded, never desperate for her response. Beyond words, body language is everything. Hold eye contact a second longer than usual. Offer a relaxed, confident half-smile. Use pauses. Well-timed silence is magnetic. Keep your shoulders open and your posture steady. Attraction isn't built through words alone. It's built through presence, energy, and calm When you flirt with the right mindset, women feel it instantly. Quick question. What's one playful tease you could use on your next date? Drop it in the comments. I'll heart the best. Don't rush the tease. Don't stack compliments. Keep it playful, not performative. End on a smirk, not a sales pitch. So ask yourself, are you flirting to impress or because you enjoy the moment? Master this and you'll feel attraction shift quietly, powerfully in your favor. Secret number 3. The hair touch timing technique. Most men completely overlook this, but women love it when a man knows how and when to touch their hair. When done at the right moment, it's one of those small, seemingly insignificant gestures that creates an instant emotion. But if done wrong, it can feel awkward, forced, or even intrusive. Timing is everything. Why this works? Brief science cue. This scalp is filled with nerve endings that trigger deep emotional responses. A gentle, intentional touch sends a quiet signal of intimacy, trust, and focus. It's not just about the physical sensation, it's the unspoken message. I see you. I'm present with you. I'm attuned to your energy. Where most men go wrong, they rush it or they do it mechanically without any real connection bend. The gesture, touching her hair, isn't about absent-minded fiddling. It's about creating a moment. Paint the moment. You're sitting with her fully engaged in conversation. She's smiling. The energy is warm. At just the right moment, you gently brush a strand of hair away from her face. That single action done with intention and confidence can say more than words ever could. When not to do it. Don't do it early before trust or chemistry is. Don't do it to break the ice. Don't do it to force closeness. Wait until she's already leaning in, holding eye contact longer, mirroring your posture, laughing easily. That's your green light. From a Stoic perspective, this is all about emotional intelligence and restraint. Stoicism teaches us to read situations without acting on impulse, to remain in control rather than being controlled by desire. You didn't reach because you want to. You reach because the moment asks for it. Have you ever had a moment where you knew the timing was right, but you hesitated? Tell me below what stopped. We're fixing that today. Eye contact first. If she holds it calmly, that's a good sign. Proximity matters. If she's naturally close, it's safer to create the moment. Make it brief, slow, gentle, then withdraw. Let her lean back in if she wants more. Return to the conversation. Don't stare at your hand like it's a magic trick. Act normal. Presence is the signal. When done with confidence and intention, this is one of those rare gestures that lingers in her memory. Not because it was dramatic, but because it was deeply human. Coming up next is secret number 4, the hand on her back in public. A tiny move that communicates confidence, leadership, and protection without saying a word. Most men either overdo it or miss it completely. I'll show you the exact way to make it feel natural, not possessive. Secret 4, the subtle back touch. This might seem small, almost insignificant, but in reality, it speaks volumes. A simple, confident touch on a woman's lower back as you guide her through a crowd or while walking together communicates something deeply leadership, confidence, and protection. Here's what most men get. They think attraction requires grand gestures, big gifts, but women don't actually need that. What they crave are subtle, instinctual signals that show a man is grounded, present, and capable of leading. When you place your hand on her back in a calm, self-assured way, you send a message. I'm in control of myself and I'm aware of you. And you do it without saying a single word. Distinction. This is not about dominance. It's not about showing ownership. It's about quiet presence. Where most men fail, they hesitate too much, making it awkward, or they overdo it, holding too long, making it feel forced. The power of this move lies in its subtlety. Picture this moment. You're walking side by side, approaching the entrance of a restaurant. You step ahead to op. She's emotional, who doesn't minimize her feelings, who doesn't run from her chaos, but grounds himself in it. That's what makes you her protector. Not words, not muscle, not money, but emotional stability. Practical example. When she's upset, don't rush in with solutions. Let her unravel. Let her feel safe enough to express. Listen. Hold space. Stay calm. Because when she realizes you don't break under pressure, she relaxes. She lets her guard down. She can step deeper into her femininity because she knows you've got her. And here's the paradox. She doesn't need you to fix her. She needs to feel that she never has to fix you. That's the essence of protector energy. Stoic tie-in. Seneca once wrote, "No man was ever Wisaby chance. Wisdom is built through choice, through discipline, through common the face of storms." That's what she feels when you embody this role. Not because you said the right thing, but because your frame never broke. Boundary reminder. Being her protector does not mean tolerating disrespect or manipulation. You must protect your peace first. Because if you can't protect your own emotional state, you can't truly protect. Quick challenge. Drop this in the comments if you resonate. I protect with presence because sometimes your calm silence is more powerful than any speech you could give. The truth. The man who embodies protector energy doesn't need to prove himself. She feels it in his steadiness. She trusts him, respects him, and eventually she chooses him. And that brings us to secret number 6. The charm of a beard. This one's fascinating because it goes beyond style. It taps into something primal. And when you understand it, you'll see why women respond so strongly to it. Secret number 6. The beard effect. Let's talk about something that at first glance seems purely physical, but actually runs much deeper. The beard. To some, it's just facial hair. To others, it's a style choice. But to women, when it's worn with the right energy, a beard can spark an attraction that feels instinctual, primal, and almost. Now, I'm not saying every woman loves beards. Some prefer clean-shaven, some like light scruff, other sadori, a full rugged look. But here's the point. A beard changes perception, because a well-kept beard sends silent messages. Maturity. This man is past the boy phase. Strength. He's grounded, confident, self-assured. Discipline. He pays attention to detail and takes care of him. It's not just appearance, it's symbolism. The beard represents dominance and depth, not the loud, overcompensating kind. The quiet, unshakable kind. Think about it. When a woman runs her fingers along your jawline through your beard, it's not just texture she's feeling. It's contrast. Her softness against your ruggedness. Her delicacy brushing against your edge. It creates polarity. The tension between masculine and feminine that fuels attraction. But there's the catch. A beard only works if the man behind it carries strong energy. If you're insecure, chasing, or boundaryless, no beard will change that. A beard should reflect your presence, not disguise your lack of it. Practical tip. If you choose a beard, keep it intentional. Groom it, own it. Make it an extension of your discipline. Because an unkempt beard doesn't say power, it says carelessness. From a Stoic perspective, Epictetus said, "Know first woe you are and then adorn yourself accordingly." In other words, don't grow a beard to mask weakness. Grow it big because it reflects the strength you already embody. Be honest, beard or clean shaven. What do you think represents more confidence? Drop your vote in the comments. When done with purpose, a beard becomes more than facial hair. It becomes a signal, a reminder to her that she's with a man who doesn't need to prove himself. He already is. Secret number 7, shared laughter. Her bonding chemical. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you made a woman laugh? Not polite laughter, not the "you're funny" text, but real unguarded, throw her head back laughter. Because here's what most men don't realize. Laughter isn't just fun, it's intimate. It's one of the fastest ways to bypass her filters and build subconscious attraction. When a woman laughs with you, her body releases oxytocin, the same bonding chemical she feels during intimacy, touch, or moments of trust. That means laughter literally wires how safe and connected she feels around you. Example. You notice something small, something quirky about the environment no one else would catch. You make a dry, perfectly timed comment. She tries to hold it in, but fails. And now you're both laughing. That shared moment, that's where attraction deepens. Most men miss this because they're too focused on being impressive, too serious, too stoic in the wrong way. And while mystery and strength matter, if all she ever feels is seriousness, she admire you, but won't crave you. Laughter is the balance. It's the spark that keeps things light, human, real. It shows you don't need to control every moment. You're confident enough to play, to relax, to enjoy the moment. Let me ask you, are you the serious one in your group or the one who always cracks a well-timed joke? Comment below. I'm curious where you land. Don't force it. Forced humor feels insecure. Tease lightly. Let her tease back. It's a dance. Don't fear self-deprecating humor in small doses. It shows humility without weakness. Use timing. Sometimes pause before the line makes the laugh hit harder than the line itself. And here's the secret, no one tells you. She won't remember the exact joke. She remember how she felt in that moment. Laughter creates emotional memory, and that memory makes her want to stay close, not just in exciting times but when life feels heavy. From a Stoic lens, Marcus Aurelius once said, "If you were distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, buto, your estimate of it." Translation: the ability to reframe life, to lighten heavy moments is power, and laughter is the quickest way to do that. So don't just be the strong silent man, be the man who can also lead with lightness. Because when you can make her laugh in a world that feels heavy, you become unforgettable. And speaking of unforgettable, Secret Neurot is where things go beyond chemistry. It's about dreams. A man with a vision is magnetic in ways most guys will never understand. Let's dive into E. A dream creates gravity that no looks or money can match. Secret number 8. The dream that pulls her in. Let's step beyond chemistry for beyond touch, teasing, or shared laughter. Let's talk about something women crave but rarely know how to put into words. A man with a dream. Not just a job, not just a goal for next month, but a vision, a direction, a fire inside a him that pulls him forward. Because here's the truth, nothing pulls a woman in deeper than a man unapologetically chasing something bigger than himself. It's not about money. It's not about fame. It's not even about the dream itself. It's about what that dream says about you. It says you're alive. It says you're not stagnant. It says you wake up with purpose. And that energy, it's contagious. Think about it this way. A man without a dream may be nice, fun, even charming. But eventually he becomes forgettable because there's no direction, there's no momentum. But a man with vision, he's magnetic because she can feel that being with him means she's on a journey, not stuck in neutral. Here's the twist. When you place your mission above her, she doesn't feel neglected. She feels safe because she knows she's with a man who won't collapse into her moods, who won't lose himself in her approval. That's why women quietly test this. Deep down they're asking, can I follow this man? Not physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Practical example, maybe you're building a business. Maybe you're training for something extreme. Maybe you're simply chasing growth every day. When you talk about it, when your eyes light up, she feels it and she respects you more for it, even if she doesn't fully understand it. From a Stoic lens, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." That's dream energy. It's not easy. It's not convenient, but you keep moving anyway. And she sees it. Let me ask you, what's one dream you're building right now? Big or small? Comment it below. I want to see what drives this community. Don't chase her. Chase your vision beckos when you chase purpose. You attract not through effort but through gravity. Secret number 9. Listening that makes her stay. Now, let's get brutally honest. Most men don't actually listen. They hear, they nod, they wait for their turn to speak. But true listening, that's rare. And if you're the kind of man who wants to create deep connection, not just surface level attraction, this secret flips the entire game. Listening, not passive, not you, yeah, while scrolling your phone. I mean the kind of listening that makes her feel truly seen. When a woman feels heard, her guard drops, her walls soften. That's trust. That's what makes you unforgettable. Picture this. She's talking about here. Most guys would jump in with quick fixes. Do this, do that. But instead, you pause. You lean in. You catch the shift in her tone when she mentions her. You remember that one thing she said weeks ago, and you bring it up later at the perfect time. That blows her mind more than any expensive dinner ever could. Why it matters. Women didn't always speak to get solutions. They speak to connect, to release, to feel understood. And when you rush her or minimize her emotions, you kill that bond instantly. But when you hold space, when you let her circle around her thoughts without interrupting, you become magnetic because now she's not just talking to a man, she's experiencing relief. Here's the wild part most men never hear. When a woman feels emotionally heard, her body responds physically. Secret number 10. The spark of spontaneity. Let's wrap this up with something most men quietly lose over time. Not because they don't care, not because they're lazy, but because life gets structured, predictable, safe. And here's the danger. Predictability kills polarity. What reignites her interest? What pulls her back in when she starts to drift? It's not control. It's not routine. It's not perfection. It's spontaneity, not chaos, not immaturity, but the ability to act in the moment without overthinking, to shift the mood with your presence, to say, let's get out off here, and actually mean it. Because women live in emotion, in the waves, they shifts, the changes, And while they crave safety in your consistency, they also crave the thrill of your unpredictability. Practical examples. Surprise her with a midnight walk when she thought the night was over. Order the dish neither of you can pronounce. Tell her a story she's never heard about you right when the mood feels heavy. Kiss her like it's the first time again. No build-up, now arning, just raw intent. These unscripted moments create memory-esh replays long after you're gone. And here's the twist. Spontaneity isn't just about her. It's about you, about keeping your edge sharp, about refusing to let life turn you into a checklist machine. Because when you move on instinct, when you act alive instead of just existing, she feels it. Your energy shifts. You become the man who doesn't just survive, but experiences. Quick poll. What's the most spontaneous thing you've ever done on a date? Drop your story in the comments. I might read the best ones in the next video. From a Stoic perspective, spontaneity is, Marcus Aurelius said, the art of living is more like wrestling than life throws weight at you. But when you can pivot, adapt, and still move with purpose, that's power. Spontaneity is that pivot. That spark thought keeps her awake. That mystery that keeps her reaching. So don't kill your own fire with endless structure. Mix stability with surprise. Be her anchor and her spark. Because when you do both, you become unforgettable. And there you have it, brother. 10 subtle but powerful truths most men never hear, but every woman quietly responds to. Not because they're tricks, not because they're hacks, but because they reflect something deeper. Awareness, presence, leadership. When you touch her with intention before intimacy, flirt with confidence and respect, brush her hair away at the right moment, guide her with a calm hand in public, become her protector without carry yourself with the grounded energy of a beard, share laughter that bonds her to you, persuade dreams bigger than the relationship, listen deeply enough to make her feel seen and sprinkle in moments of raw spontaneity. You stop playing the game, you stop chasing, you stop proving. Instead, you've come the standard. The man who doesn't just attract attention, he earns respect. He keeps her heart, because he never needed to prove anything. He just was. If this video hit something real for you, not just information, but recognition, then you already know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe to Dark Psychology, turn on notifications so you never miss what's coming next. This channel isn't for surface level advice. This is for men who value depth over dopamine. Men who are ready to stop blending in and start standing out. Thanks for watching. My name is Amelia, and as always, I'll see you in tomorrow's video.